It's my pleasure to introduce to you Sam Ukwa. Can we give him a wonderful round of applause? Sam is going to entertain us today with a wonderful show all the way from Nigeria. Sam is a very difficult man. So when he gives you a show, you know it's going to be a good show. I've already told his wife. She's the cause of the problem. I've told her. She encouraged him to be a difficult man. Christian, I love you. Sam is a music graduate and he's a professor. He's been teaching music and acting at university level. So he comes to us today with years of wonderful practical experience. And I promise you a good show. I promise you a good time. Not be me they do the show, but I'm promising you a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, to Sam.
Okay. Hello again. And as my boss has said, I want to add my own welcome on top of his own to welcome you again. I don't know how I really feel, but I'm glad because it's a new phase from where I've been coming. You know, I used to do a lot of this kind of stuff for like what we did yesterday. I used to do that a lot years ago, but then I moved from there into other areas of music, you know, audio production, theater production, and so on. So I hadn't done, Dr. Solomon, what you saw me do yesterday, I haven't done it in years. So yesterday was like coming out of retirement to do that. And I'm very glad for the opportunity you provided. And thank you for a lovely dinner yesterday. You know, so those of you who were here, you know, Dr. Solomon pulled out all the stops. Thank you. A round of applause for that. You know. Now today, what's going to happen is rather different. You see, today, I'm going to tell you a story. A story that I am very sure you are going to find some parts of it sounding quite familiar. Maybe not exactly the same circumstances, but trust me, you will discover that experiences are similar all across board. Now, what I want us to do is take into account, just be paying attention, because from what I tell you, you're going to take note of the characters you're going to come in contact with. And you're going to take note of the events that happen. You're going to take note of the reactions that follow those events. And then you're going to have your own opinion about these things. And we're going to talk about those opinions much later after we finish the main show. Because it is in those discussions that we are going to begin to uncover certain things that are relevant to us and how it's going to make it possible for us to recognize these things and then climb over them to move forward. So, my story is called Nearly Can Kill a Bird. Nearly Can Kill a Bird. I remember that when I first mentioned it to someone, we had more or less an academic debate on the title, Nearly Can Kill a Bird. Why? Because everybody is used to the concept that nearly cannot kill a bird. And I said, nearly can kill a bird. And so we're trying to wrinkle out all the stops. Why must it be told? Now, nearly can kill a bird is a metaphor for how fragile and delicate life and the human experience can be. Our story happens in Nigeria, a very interesting place. You know, the characters have a close brush with death. And this brush with death is emotional death from mistakes, from failures, from frustrations, all kinds of difficulties, and even a close brush with physical death. And then they suddenly realize that just as easily as a bird's life can be snuffed out, so also theirs can be. You know. And they just find this happens. Why? Just because life happens. You know. Now, ironically, this turn of events also provides opportunities for a rewriting of personal narratives. You see, when you look at something from a certain point of view, then you begin to check, scrutinize it from all directions. Then you find, oh, looks like there's a crack, an opening there we can squeeze through. When we squeeze through, and it looks like the sun is shining out there. You know, but before then, all the troubles didn't allow you to know. Now, so this is what this project is about, and it's what I invite you to recognize and, you know, think about. Now, so let's meet our first character. Her name is Rohi. Rohi is an orphan girl, very beautiful girl. She's from a large family, single mother, and the poverty bites deep. And the mother couldn't cope with all of them. All the 9 children they have, you know. So she sent Rohi to go off and live with her brother, the uncle, you know, in the hope that because the uncle is doing quite well, she will get a better chance at a good life. Unfortunately, the story didn't happen like that. Rohi got there and found herself living like a slave, like a servant in the uncle's house. She wasn't even allowed to sit on the chairs. She wasn't allowed to watch TV with the others. You know, all those kinds of things. You can imagine, I'm sure you probably kind of relate to that kind of situation. This is how Rohi's life was. And despite living with an uncle who was well off, guess what? She had to do what in Nigeria we call runs to survive. For those of you who don't understand what that means, runs means that a young lady has to do some extracurricular activities with her body to be able to make money. So, this was Rohi's world. And she needed to survive. Now, the song you're going to hear now is called Blow My Whistle. And this song describes Rohi's world.
There's a house just next to mine with a family of 9, and they got to squeeze in just one room. The little daughter walks the streets just to help to make ends meet, she might have to walk down the street crying out till she's blue. Oh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Won't you come blow my whistle? A little fun for you means a little food for me. Oh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Won't you come blow my whistle? A little fun for you means a little food for me. There's a street not far away, it's almost empty in the day. Once it's dark, you're in Good Evening Street. They come in every shape and size, sell their bodies to the guys. It doesn't matter who or what they meet. Some say one day won't be too long. You'll have to give up cause it's so wrong. But as long as the body's still young, they're back there the next day to sing out the song. Oh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Won't you come blow my whistle? A little fun for you means a little food for me. Oh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Won't you come blow my whistle? A little fun for you means a little food for me. Oh, yeah, yeah, whoa. She doesn't want to, she doesn't like to, but she's got to cause she needs to. And if you want to, she's gonna have to, cause she needs to, cause she needs to. Hey, hey, a little food for you means a little food for me. Oh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Hey, hey, fun for you means a little food for me.
Thank you. Now you have an idea of Rohi's world. Not an easy one. And I don't pray for my daughters or anybody else's daughters to have to go through that. It's not pleasant. Now let's meet our second character, our friend. His name is Takon. Now, this is the thing about Takon. Takon has been a graduate for 5 years. He's also been jobless for 5 years. Now, you see, the thing is this. In his school, there was this tradition that when the best student graduates, they would usually send that best student abroad for further studies so that the student could come back and be a lecturer in the school. When it was Takon's turn, because Takon was the best in his class, when it was his turn, he was overlooked. They just sidestepped him. He moved on, struggling for work everywhere he could get. Then, he also missed being commissioned into the Nigerian army because of betrayal. Let me tell you what happened. He had a very good friend, his best friend, while they were in university. They were roommates, they were classmates. Even when they went for national service, they were roommates in the same place. And he took his friend back to Lagos to meet his mom, who at the time had connections, and they happened to meet the people in charge of the youth service, how they post people, and got him posted to the same place where Takon was going. So they were like inseparable. But guess what? When their service year finished, Takon's friend heard about the recruitment in the military, in the department that they were relevant to. And his friend deliberately did not tell him. He only found out the day they were doing the passing out parade. And he went there to go and confront his friend. Why did you do this to me? And that one said, well, you know, I knew that Takon doesn't like to say yes, sir, to anybody. That's why I didn't bother to tell you. And Takon says, but why didn't you leave me to make that decision for myself? You know. Well, that passed. And then he decided, okay, maybe I'll do further studies. He goes and pays application to do a master's, a further degree. The moment he finished paying, the school cancelled the program and didn't refund his money. And he was wondering, what's this all about? Who could he report to? Who could he tell? Nobody. And at the end of the day, he lost out in that one. Now he's gone for another interview. Meanwhile, he's done like 50-something to 70-something interviews in the recent time. And not one single one has come through. So he's just gone for another interview now, and they're telling him he's overqualified for the job. So, sorry, they can't take him. At this point, you can understand why Takon believes that he's jinxed. Nothing he ever puts his hand to ever turns out right. You know, everything is nearly, you know, he's almost near success. He almost gets it and then it doesn't happen. And he's so frustrated, he begins to believe in what we in Nigeria refer to as home trouble. Home trouble means that it's when you believe that your people in your village are diabolically affecting your fortunes spiritually to prevent you from making progress. That's home trouble. So he's so convinced that this must be home trouble. The next song you're going to hear is called Who Be That? And it describes Takon's present mindset, that somebody is out to get him. Stick around. It's getting warmer.
Just come out. Who be that yo? When they vex when I pass for road. Who be that yo? When they vex when I drink water. Who be that yo? When they carry me put for mind. Who be that yo? When they pray make my own dabaru. Now winch be that yo? Now winch be that yo? There's a man in your hometown, there's a woman in your village, there's a girl in your compound, there's a boy in your neighborhood. As far as you know, they're all on their own. Each person minds their business, but when midnight comes, they know where they meet. That's where they get together. That's where they decide how to paralyze anything you try, just to make you cry. But some people say nah lie yo, say nothing they like that yo. Them say inside your mind yo, now him winchy they exist yo. Make a laugh, 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 well oh. Make a laugh, 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 well oh. Which you know they who they come for night to tiff picking for belly when the mama they sleep oh. Now when you be that yo, when you know they who they come for night to press you till the one die. Now when you be that yo, when you know they who they come for night to carry you travel overseas without the aeroplane yo. Now when you be that yo, when you know they why you they find the babalawo and pastor them who will go deliver you. Now when you be that yo, bring on me. Some people try to run you down, Some of them try to block your way in life. Sometimes it's the things they say about you. Sometimes it's the things they do behind you. Wake up if you've been living in fear. Find the truth and it will make you free. Straighten up if you've been dancing with the devil, cause judgment day is coming and the tune's gonna change.
It's not about me, it's not about you, it's not about who is right.
No.
It's all about we, it's all about us, it's all about what is right.
Move ahead, you know, Grio. Give a chance, you know, Grio. Move ahead, you know, Grio. Give a chance, you know, Grio. Nothing where anybody go do, we go ever they better for your eye, yo.
Nothing where anybody go do, we go ever they better for your eye, yo.
Now the one way you do, now the one way you talk, even when you know they walk, now him better pass.
Now the one way you do, now the one way you talk, even when you know they walk, now him better pass.
Move ahead, you know, Grio. Give a chance, you know, Grio. Move ahead, you know, Grio. Give a chance, you know, Grio.
Bad belly, bad belly,
Yeah.
bad belly,
Now when you be daddy, yo.
bad belly,
Oh.
bad belly,
Yeah.
bad belly.
Now when you be daddy, yo. If you know the fear before, make you look my face well, that the blood of Jesus Christ they cover me, that the grace of Jehovah they follow me. I be bad market, you know go fit by me. I be wrong target, you know go fit see me. I dey bitter for mouth and I dey run belly. That's also headache and fever, you go get it right. Because the power, the glory, forever and ever. And the King of Kings, and my Father be that. Yeah.
Bad belly,
Look at me,
bad belly, bad belly,
they don't bless me finish. Look at you,
bad belly, bad belly,
they don't crush you finish.
bad belly,
Everything what you they do,
bad belly.
now when you do that, yo. Now you know Takon's problem. And he believes that this Nigeria where they so, if I don't if I not do something will do me. You understand? That's a general, that's an expression we have in our place. If I not do something will do me. If I don't find a way to do something, I'm going to get in a big fix. So, before you've met the two of them, before we go further, let me play in another important character. His name is Badu, and Badu is an older man and comfortable civil servant. He is the warden of the prison. And this is the person that Rohi links up with. Remember I told you what she needed to do? Now Badu is the person who's taking care of those extra needs. And then it turns out, after all the promises, because Badu knows everything about Rohi's life, because Badu happens to be a friend to Rohi's uncle. So he knows exactly how Rohi lives in the house. He knows everything that happens to her in that place. You know, and he's secretly having an affair with his friend's niece behind the back. And then promised her heaven and earth. You know how guys can be sometimes, you know. Then, back down, Rohi becomes pregnant. And she, on one hand, is very happy because Badu has told her that I'm soon going to come and take you away from that place and end all your suffering. And then she goes to meet Badu in the office to let Badu know it has happened. You know, this is the time. And Badu says, what did you say? What? You are pregnant. You are what? No, don't even go there. And she's saying, Badu, what are you talking about? Are you not the one who promised me so much? You said you were going to take me away from the suffering in my uncle's house. You were going to marry me. You called me your wife, for goodness sake. And Badu says, excuse me, those were all pet names. What? Did you think that was serious? I expected that you knew we were just having fun. And she says, what? Badu, take a good look at me. Look at me from head to toe.
You knew my condition in my uncle's house. You knew everything. And you were so all the while that you were promising me heaven and earth, your idea of having fun was me rollicking around with you. What is that? And Badu now shocks her further. He says, first of all, I can't take you home. What of my family? My wife and my child? And that's the first time Rohi is hearing that the man has a family. And she screams. And Badu says, what's wrong with you? Take a look at me. Did you expect that I should still be single at my age? What do you mean? And Rohi becomes deflated. Then he puts salt in the wound by telling her, you think I didn't know about your previous life when you were street walking? All those ones you were doing. You think I didn't know about it? You know what you've done with your period. Now you're coming to tell me about coming in, moving in with me. No. Look, little girls don't play games that women play. So go look for what you're going to do about it. And Rohi quietly tells her, Badu, do you know that I could have you killed for what you just said and I would not lose any sleep over it? And Badu said, no, you are becoming too dangerous. I need to go now. And he moves to leave her. And by this time she's so desperate and she rushes at Badu and grabs him. No, Badu, you can't go, you can't leave me. You can't. What do you want me to do? What's going to happen to me? And he says, leave me, what do you think you're doing? And he pushes her so violently, and this is somebody who's carrying a pregnancy. He pushes her so violently, and she falls so hard on her stomach and lets out a wild scream. The next thing she knows, she's blacked out. And before she knew it, next place she woke up in a hospital. And woke up in the hospital, looked around. Where am I? Then the doctor walks in with his white coat, stethoscope and everything, and he's holding a bunch of papers in his hands. He doesn't say anything. He just hands her the papers. She looks at it. She bursts into tears. And the only thing that comes out of her mouth is, so I have lost it just like I lost him too, so violently. Now, you see, this next song describes Rohi's hopelessness. It's called Never Said Goodbye. Day after day, night after night, I see the sun about to die, and all the stars which fill the sky, because there's nothing else to do. Oh baby, I am missing you. I can't believe that you are gone, and all the nights I spent with you. No, it just can't be true, because you never said goodbye. Oh, I think I'm gonna cry. You never said goodbye. My heart just wants to die. You never said goodbye, and now the tears have reached my eyes. You never said goodbye. My heart just wants to die. You never said goodbye, and now the tears have filled my eyes. I wonder why, with all the love we shared, you clearly now deny when I thought you really cared. Maybe, baby, can't you see that this wasn't meant to be? You just left me crying, and the tears keep flowing. Please come back into my arms. Let me feel
feel your loving charms. Why did you have to leave when there was more to give? You're leaving me the hard way after feeling me so full. And now I don't know what to say, 'cause I feel just like a fool. Please don't let it end. You were my best friend. Don't you make me cry. We can still try. Never said goodbye. My heart just wants to die. You never said goodbye, and the tears have filled my eyes. You never said goodbye. You never, now the tears have filled my eyes. My heart, my heart, my heart just wants to die. Oh. I hope you're keeping up with Rohi's progressive sorrow, if we may call it that. Let's leave her for a moment. Let's go back and see what's happening with Takon. You know, he's become so frustrated, he's decided that, look, the next step for me is what in Nigeria we refer to as Jakpa. Now, the word Jakpa is a Yoruba word meaning to escape. So he's decided that there's nothing going on for me in this country. So, next step, I'm getting out of here. Nigeria, see you later when I have become a big hit. So he takes off, sells everything that he thinks can give him any money, and he heads off. Application, it's time for the interview at the embassy, and he goes, very confident. And Oyibo woman looks at him, the white woman looks at him and says, listen, Mr. Takon, unfortunately, I don't think we can give you a visa at this time, because Takon says, why now? And she says, well, you don't have a job, you don't have any property, you're not married, you don't have any children. There is nothing tying you to this place that tells me you're going to come back. And then he cuts in, no, it's not as if, the job part, it's not as if I don't want to work, but they're not giving me, nobody's giving me a chance. Yeah, I mean, you've been in this country, you should know. Besides, the woman cuts in and says to him, look, if you go, you're just going to be a liability to our economy, because we cannot see how you're going to be able to fit in or take care of yourself. And he says, no, but imagine the kind of asset I could be to your economy. You know, you need young, bright minds like mine. I was best in my school. And, yeah, I know. And then he says, okay, look at it from this point of view. I am an endangered species. People like me die every day in this country. Nobody cares about us. What else is remaining for me to do except maybe to go and commit suicide? Would you like something like that? And the woman says to him, nice try, Mr. Takon. Bam. Sorry. Do have a nice day. Takon stands up. Okay. What did you say? Have a nice day. Did you say have a nice day? I should have a nice day. You take my money, you no give me what I ask for. You can't tell me, say, make I have a nice day. Nice day as how?
You've collected my money. Visa you didn't give me. My money you didn't refund. You are telling me to go and have a nice day. How am I supposed to have a nice day? Is something wrong with you? And the guy begins to provoke in that place until she has to call for the security to physically escort him out. You know what that escort means. Oh God. Takon thinks, who can I kill now? So where am I going to go now? This song will explain Takon's frustration. It's called Break Down the Walls.
You want to travel out, but they say you need a visa. You spend the whole day talking just to get a piece of paper. They ask you anything and everything, but never nothing. Who, what, why, where, which end up something.
Iyo, 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 iyo. Iyo, iyo, ayo.
Now all over the world the bombs and guns are all exploding. And even as we die the people fighting are reloading. Dictators, agitators, both are messing up elections. Some people stay at home while others run in all directions.
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
How did it get so bad?
So bad.
People everywhere.
All over the world are going mad, mad, mad. Down in America, some people just don't like Africa. In the streets of Europe, they're asking for your paper. They think you wanna stay, but who would want to stay if he could go and come all way? How did we get here?
How did it get so
bad?
People everywhere.
All over the world are going mad, mad, mad. Break down the walls dividing, all men are one. Send down the bar reviving, Almighty One. Break down the walls dividing, all men are one. Send down the bar reviving, Almighty One. In Africa, the leaders telling us to stop corruption. The West make peace on TV while they build up ammunition. So all around the world you see the perfect hypocrisy. The lies are so disgusting, they can make you feel so dizzy.
Iyo, 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 iyo.
Iyo, iyo,
Iyo, iyo, ayo.
ayo, ho, ho.
Break down the walls dividing, all men are one.
Break down,
Send down the bar reviving, Almighty One.
Almighty One.
Break down the walls dividing, all men are one.
Break down,
Send down the bar reviving, Almighty One.
So now we have two frustrated individuals. You understand Rohi's life. Now you understand Takon's life. Could things get any worse? Let's see. So, Takon, well, he sold everything, well, almost everything. He still has one small room in one corner of town with just his bed. That was the last thing he was hoping to sell when he gets the visa. But now that that didn't work, so he has to go back and just go sleep and think of what next to do. Meanwhile, Rohi has been thrown out, rejected by Badu, had a miscarriage, and is now roaming the streets with her bag. And then there's a chance meeting at a kiosk where Takon is about to spend the last of his money to get himself some water to drink. And he sees Rohi standing there. You know, men, no matter what kind of stress you are facing in life, it takes a lot of discipline for you not to notice a beautiful woman. So, some will notice, some will walk past. My problem is bigger than this. Some will notice and say, man no die, man no rotten. That's an expression in our place, meaning, what the heck? Well, might as well take my mind off off all my problems. Let's chat her up. And she says, and he greets her, Auntie, how are you doing? Can I get you something to drink? And Rohi says, no. He says, okay, sorry. And he goes, please, give me pure water. Pure water is sachet water, Please, give me pure water. And they give it to him. And then he looks at her and says, are you sure you don't want anything? And she says, if you want to buy me something, then you better buy me something to eat. That would be more useful to me. And he says, Auntie, come. You think I didn't see all the nice things to eat in this shop before I asked what you wanted to drink? Of course. And she says to him, well, you're the one who is buying pure water, so you tell me. He said, oh, so you saw. If I'm buying pure water for myself, what did you think I'll buy for you? Wine? And she said, well, it's your choice. It's your choice. Thank you. It's my choice to drink pure water because I didn't see other things to drink. And in any case, where is the thing? How, if you only have pure water, money to buy pure water, what were you offering me? What did you? Of course, I was planning to share my pure water with you now. What else? I have one. I would share it with you. Oh, really? Why? Because I'm a nice guy. And they start talking. From there, conversation starts, and then they begin to learn about one another. They share their stories. And guess what? Affection begins. There's a way people can bond when they are both in problems together. So the person with one problem will understand the problems of the other person. That other person will understand the problems of this one. Because when you are on your own, you are alone in the big, wide world. All around you is just ocean. Anything you see that you can grab onto, you will. And so, here is what goes on. And before we know what's happening, that phrase that we so like to throw in the dustbin, love at first sight. It suddenly happens. And they are all, so fluffy, flurry, like little birds around each other. And, so love is so strong. And they decide what? Moving together. At least Akon still has a house. Oh, wow. That, I'm sure you know what that must mean to Rohi. And this next song is called New Love. It's self-explanatory. So you know what they are feeling at this time. Is it wrong to love you right away? I know we only met just here today, but what I feel inside is coming on so strong. I love you is a thing I want to say. New love, oh, what I feel inside is coming on so strong I can't hold it. New love, oh, what I feel inside. I love you is the only thing that I want to say. Is it wrong to kiss you right away? I know we only met less than a day, but if a kiss can say so much, ain't it right for us to touch? I love you with a thing I want to say. New love, oh, what I feel inside is coming on so strong it can hold it. New love,
met just today, but every time I turn around, I just want to hold you tight. I love you is a thing I want to say. Oh, new love, oh, what I feel inside. It's coming on so strong I can't hold it. New love, oh, what I feel inside. I love you, it's the only thing that I want to say. So, now, new love, new plans. And then, Takon decides, okay, I'll head up north. I'll go and set up a business. I think I want to go and do a barbering salon. And then, when I make it, maybe I can send for you. You can come join me. You know, what's my unique selling point? In the north, I'm going there with an electric clipper. Over there are people still using manual clippers, shaving their heads with razors. So, I know something must happen. So he packs his things and he decides to go up north to go set up his own barbering salon to become a big boy. With the plans that, Rohi, while you're here, you're looking for a job or some kind of trade, find something to do. At least you got my place, stay there. When I am settled, I'll send for you, you come and join me. If you do something like hairdressing, we could jointly work in a big salon. And then with all these plans, Takon takes off, goes up north to set up his barbering salon. And truly, because he comes with a unique selling point, he's got an electric clipper while others are still shaving, his salon begins to boom, begins to grow. And he's expanding, he's progressing, he's profiting. And just as it gets to the time when he thinks, all right, I think we're good, let me send for Rohi, before we know what's happening. I'm sure some of you may have heard of the name Boko Haram. This is a terrible terrorist organization in the northern part of Nigeria operating. They go into villages, they sack the whole village, they kill anybody they see, they rush into farms, slaughter the owners of the farms, the workers, and they just send everybody running. You know, it's like they just take over every village, and everywhere they are dropping, they're firing mortars, grenades, and things. They come sometimes on motorbikes with knives, with machetes, and so on and so forth. And there is complete mayhem. Now, this next song examines the irony of the desire for mass migration against the realities on the other side. It's called Man on the Run.
Man on the run, on the run.
Everybody wants to run away off to another man's land. Everybody wants to run away off to another man's land. Cause they think over yonder, life is easier. So everybody wants to run away off to another man's land. Never, never could overcome. Never, never to come back home. Man on the run. Never, never could overcome. Man on the run. Never, never to come back home. Oh, what a shame. Everybody wants to go to school to get an education. Everybody wants to go to school to get an education. But even with a PhD, there's no jobs for them. Yet everybody wants to go to school to get an education. I say, man on the run. Never, never could overcome. Man on the run. Never, never to come back home. Man on the run. Never, never could overcome. On the run. Never, never to come back home. Oh, yeah, yeah. yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So if you love freedom, me beg you put up on no hand.
Freedom, put up on no hand.
And if you love move around, me beg you put up on no hand.
Freedom, put up on no hand.
So me beg all of the masses to put the barrier, make them stop the treat us like evil barrier. If you love freedom, me beg you put up on no hand.
Freedom, put up on no hand.
When everybody run away, who's going to marry all of them girls? When everybody run away, who's going to marry all of them girls? And even those who stay, they can't pay the price. So when everybody run away, who's going to marry all of them girls? I say, man on the run, never could overcome. Man on the run, never to come back home. Man on the run, never could overcome. Man on the run, never to come back home. Oh yeah yeah, 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 oh yeah yeah. Oh, what a shame. Now, Takon, remember, he's doing well. And he's thinking it's time for Rohi to join me. Now is the time. As he's packing up for the day, guess what? This is what he hears outside. Apparently, Boko Haram is in town. Killing, shooting, and he immediately packs his things and he begins to run. All he wants to do is to get out of there. Look, it's as if, what should he take? What should he leave? What should he carry? And then he thinks to himself, okay, he just takes his bag with his clippers and the things that he knows, like the tools that he needs to work. Thankfully, they're small, so he doesn't need a big truck to carry anything. So he gets out of the place and he's running. People are running all over the place, crossing from left to right and everywhere. And then suddenly, everywhere is quiet. And then he thinks, okay, now I can get away. He comes out from hiding and he steps just 3 steps forward. And what happens? The next thing he hears is, hey, stop here. If you move, I finish you. And here Takon is face to face with a terrorist with a very sharp looking machete glinting in the night. Takon quickly begins to think, what do I do? And then the man says to him, what do you have inside that your bag? And he says, it's my tools. What you bring the tools to? What do you do? And he says, I'm a barber. I just finished from the shop. I'm going, oh, you be barber, Kwo? You are barber? Very good. I take you, I go and show you to my commander. You come to our camp, then you begin to barber our head in our camp. You join our group. And Takon says, no, I don't understand the language. Kai, I ask you about the language? Which kind of nonsense you are talking? No, I mean, I don't know how to. You know, Sabi, to do what? You mean all of you with all the school you go, you know, Sabi, anything. Even this is your army barrack for the back of this your saloon. We scatter everything. Useless person like you. So nothing you can do. I say you follow me. I show you to my commander, and then
You barb our hair. You follow us where we go. You no agree. We yamu too. Ha. I said, you follow me, you talk nonsense. Takon said, okay. So if I no follow, you still to talk? Come on, move. And he's brandishing this big machete. Then Takon thinks, and then he decides. Oh, see, he distracts the guy for a split second, and that is all that he needs. As the guy just turns to see what he's pointing at, Takon attacks him with all the vengeance of the past 5 years of his life, all the failures and all the frustrations. He just pours the whole thing out. The way he attacks this man, overpowers him. He himself doesn't even know where he got the energy from. Grabs the machete from him and then begins to pound this guy. Beats him into a pulp. The guy has fallen. Takon still continues kicking him. Shake Bara Obanza. Come on. He beats this guy into a serious pulp. So you're mad. You're crazy. You think I came here because of you? I came to the north because of you? You must be mad. So he grabbed the guy's machete, puts it in a bag, and begins to find his way through the bushes to get away from there. And then, eventually, he manages to escape and gets back home to meet Rohi. At least expecting to hear some good news from her side. And Rohi is saying, Takon, you mean you lost everything just like that? So, you didn't come back with, what did you come back with? This machete. Says, what could I do? It was either run and come back or stay and get killed. Everybody knows what's happening in the north of Nigeria. The mayhem, the massacres. Please give me some good news. What happened in your own case? You told me, you said you were getting yourself a what do you call it? You were getting a job as an air hostess. That sounds exciting. Please tell me about it. And she says, air hostess. That was the biggest scam I ever got involved in. There's this woman called Madam Tower with her supposed airline called Tower Airways. And she was training us to be air hostesses. And they would bring people to come and train us. This is how you do, this is what you do, this is how you walk, this is how you serve, and blah, 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 blah. And we were going there every day. Do you know the distance from here to where the woman had her so-called training camp? Somewhere in a godforsaken place called Egbeda. Those who know Lagos know that Egbeda is far from wherever is considered center. And she was going there every day for this thing. Only for one day she went into Madam Tower's office and says, Madam Tower, myself and the other girls, we are wondering, so when are we going to do this thing now? When is this job going to start? I said, well, you know, I told you, we're still waiting. There's so much bureaucracy, our license, our offices at the airport, and, you know. What? And she says, Madam Tower, but you told us we were ready like 3 months ago. And you said within 2 months we would be in the offices, in the airport. So what's happened? Well, but you see, and Madam Tower was painting interesting pictures. And then Rohi, she's a street girl. And she says to Madam Tower, so which one is this one we are hearing that you now want to float a cargo airline? You don't need air hostesses on cargo airline. So with this one that we've been doing, or was it just for you to collect money from us to go and do international passport? Everybody paid you the same big amount and we are not here. So if I didn't come to your office now, I wouldn't have known anything about this. And she says, Rohi, mind how you talk to me. At least we are giving you training that is yours forever. Anywhere you go, you can use it to get a job. And he says, training with no certificates. Training with no, go to where to get a job? From who? Madam Tower. So what are you saying now? No, don't worry, you guys be patient. Once everything is in order, we'll send for you. I said, so what you mean is that at this time we should all walk away empty-handed after all this time and sit down and wait that you will call us someday? He said, yes. Then Rohi says, okay, so Madam Tower, so in your mind now, you are very sharp. So you are seeing us all as fools, right? And Madam Tower says, Rohi, how dare you talk to me like that? Don't you know who you're talking to? And Rohi says, Madam Tower, come. Is it because I've been polite all this time? Is it because I've been talking very nicely and politely? Look, if you do not behave right now, you will see a side of me that you've never seen before. Say, Rohi, how dare you? Before she knew what was happening, Rohi pulls out a knife from her bag and tells her, Madam Tower, if you don't put my money on the table now, I will so slash you and scatter you with this knife that you will only be useful for minced meat, for sausage. So you better start putting my money down now. Take it easy now, take it easy. I'll give you your money. I'll give you. Rohi, a nice, beautiful young girl like you, who could have imagined that you are a thug? Who, you think I care what you think about me? That I look nice and gentle. That's why people like you think that you can rip me off anytime you want. Put my money on the table. And she said, wait, I'll bring it. Was it not, how much did you bring? Was it not 15, 20,000 naira? Look, that's your money. And Rohi looks at her and says, who is collecting this kind of money from you? Who is collecting 15,000 from you? Have you considered how much transport it cost me to come here? How many months from where I am to this outlandish place? Not to even mention all the tithes and offerings that we were giving in that your church, that useless church that you were making us go to. Any one of us who wants a job, we have to come to your church, and you were collecting tithes and offerings. I haven't even added that too. I'm not collecting anything less than 40,000 from you. If you don't put it down, you're going to see it. And she says, you think you will never get away with this? I will make sure that you are arrested. Blah, blah, blah. Sounds like a plan. But let me tell you what I will do. As soon as I go out of the 50 of us that started with you, there's still 35 of us remaining. So guess what happens when I go outside and tell the others what has just happened inside here? Then you can sort everybody. No. Please don't do that. Don't do it. You are rich enough to settle everybody. Why are you worried? You know. Rohi, please, don't tell them. Please. Good. Here's the 40,000. Rohi collects the money, puts it in her bag, says, nice doing business with you. And she leaves. By the time she has given Takon her own side of the story, they realize they are both back to square one. So what do we do? Where do we go from now? From here? And then the next song tells you about the thought-provoking examination of our world that they go through at that point in time. The song is called Stop the World. Tell me, how did we get here? How did everything break down? I fall asleep each night with this thought on my mind. The world is changing fast and no one sees its plight. A time of love is now, a time to hate. How long will this last?
A time of peace is now, a time of war. How long will this last? People dying day by day, a price they didn't have to pay. But the world is really gone astray. What more can I say? Stop the world, let's blend it in the faith we share. Stop the world with kindness that is freely spread. Oh, stop the world, let's order joy and charity. Stop the world, leave out the misery. Stop the world. The big man rules the land. Everyone feels his might. What are we to do in this hasty world of ours? The big man rules the land. Everyone feels his might. A time to laugh is now, a time to weep. What more can we do? A time to get is now, a time to lose. What more can we do? The world is filled with confusion, has now become disillusion. Now the world has really gone astray. What more can I say? Stop the world, let's blend it in the faith we share. Stop the world with kindness that is freely spread. Oh, stop the world, let's order joy and charity. Stop the world, leave out the misery. Stop the world. Oh, stop the world, let's blend it in the faith we share. Stop the world with kindness that is freely spread. Oh, stop the world, let's order joy and charity. Stop the world, leave out the misery. Stop. How did we get here? How did everything break down? Tell me, how did we get here? How did everything break down? Break down, break down, break down. Well, after thinking about all that, expressing their minds, Takon gets up, picks his shirt, puts it on, puts on his shoes, and Rohi says, "Are you going somewhere?" "Oh, I just want to go next day. I want to see Monday." "Eh? You want to see who?" "Monday. I just want to ask him a few questions." "Monday? Takon, are you all right? Monday that everybody in this neighborhood knows is an armed robber. It's not a secret. This man sits in the backyard of that their face me, I face you house, cleaning his guns in the presence of little children. Face me, I face you is what we call rooming houses in Nigeria. Just one block, one corridor down the center, rooms on the right, rooms on the left. Different families occupying one or two rooms according to their financial status. So in Nigeria, we call that face me, I face you, or face to face. And he says, this man sits in the backyard of that face to face, cleaning his guns in the presence of little children. That's the person you want to hang out with now? And Takon says, no, now. He's asking him a question. Does that mean I'm hanging out with him? I just want to ask him a question, a very quick question. There's nothing to it. And Rohi says, Takon, look, we have been coming gently with our lives, quietly, jeje.
Jeje in Yoruba means gently, gently. Says, please, don't have anything to do with Monday. Even knowing Monday is dangerous. And he says to her, Rohi, calm down. This Monday that you're talking about, I was here when his father married his mother. He was born in my presence. He's a little boy. So, don't worry, I'll be back soon. I just want to, take it easy. Don't stop being paranoid. And Takon just strolls out. Monday's house is the next building. So he just crosses into the next house. And Rohi is still going, Takon. Every African woman knows what that means. That means, Takon, I don't approve of what you are doing. Oh, I don't approve. You are taking a big risk. But well, let's see as it comes. She hasn't even finished speaking, and the next thing she hears. This is happening outside. And she says, what's going on? She rushes to the window, looks out, and sees police all around the place, in front of the next building. Gunshots everywhere. And she says, hey, Takon. And before we know what's happening, it's all over. Takon gets caught and ends up on death row. It turns out that the police got a tip-off that Monday was around, and they carried out a raid. And Takon just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And the police came, saw him, and thought he was one of the gang. Of course, in that kind of situation, who would be asking questions? And Takon got caught up in the middle. And that's how he was taken away. Note, several people were shot and killed in that raid. Now, Rohi visits him in jail. And guess what? As Takon is brought out to meet his visitor, guess who? Badu. Badu is the prison warden. Rohi's ex-lover. And Badu comes. Rohi, what are you doing here? Visiting. What kind of visiting are you visiting? None of your business. You mean you know this person? None of your business. And she says, what are you doing with a condemned criminal, an armed robber? And she says, that armed robber, that condemned criminal, is going to be ever more of a man than you will ever be in your whole life. So he's a criminal, thank you. Just leave it like that. Say, so these are the kind of people you roll with, Rohi, and you wanted to be a part of my life. Criminals, armed robbers. And she says, yes, I know, that's your wonderful life that you were promising me. Thank you. No, I can't take this. I can't listen to you talking all this kind of, yeah, go. That's how you do. You run away from things. So, shoo, go. And Rohi tells him, please go. Takon sits down to talk to Rohi. He doesn't even know what to say. And Rohi says, Takon, I warned you, but you wouldn't listen. Didn't I tell you Monday is bad news? Monday is bad news. Just knowing Monday could get somebody killed. Rohi, I'm sorry. Everything happened so fast. Before I knew what was happening, the police were all over the place and they just grabbed me. They thought I was part of the gang. How wouldn't they think you are part of the gang? It was you they caught with blood all over your shirt. It was you they caught holding a gun in your hand. It was you they caught with a dead man in front of you. How wouldn't they catch you? No, but Rohi, Monday was the one who came and stuck his gun in my hands. And before I could do anything, he slumped and died. Yes, he slumped and died. The only person who knows that you're not a member of the gang. But Rohi, you know I am not a thief. You know I'm not a robber. Yes, I know. But they don't. It was you they caught. And who is going to speak for you? The person who knows that you're not a member of this group and you just came for something else, he's dead and gone. Who is going to speak up for you? And he says, but Rohi, what could I do? I just wanted to go and ask him maybe for a loan so I could start again. Maybe start a car wash or something. I can't just sit down at home doing nothing. You know, at least I would have to make some kind of effort. Yes, and of all people, it was Monday you thought of. And he says, so who else would I have gone to? Who was going to help me? Is it the government? Is it the bank? Who? He's the only one I know. Okay, he's the only one you know. Now he's gone. And we know where they want you to go. Here you are on death row waiting to be executed like a common armed robber. Takon, you just raised my hopes for nothing. Why? Why? I thought we had a chance together. I thought we were going to have an opportunity together to make a new life. No matter how long it took, at least inching along little by little, doing the little that we could. And there you were, with, of all people on this planet, Monday. Oh. Rohi, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's nothing I could do. I know you're sorry. So am I. But there's nothing. I can't handle this. I have to go. I have to go. And with tears in her eyes, she has to leave Takon in prison and goes back home. She leaves. And at that moment, Takon understands the true meaning of loneliness. And this song that he sings captures the bitterness of his loneliness. And this one is called If Only.
As the days rush by with no one at my side to wipe away my tears or calm down all my fears, my life is really empty. I've nothing left to do. How very lonely now, how very lonely life can be. If only I could see you. If only I could hold you and hear you say how much you wish for the day you rock me in your arms again. Did you have to leave? You didn't have to let me down. So now you run away, but my heart will find you out. I know I never took you there, but you know how much I care. You've done away with all the happiness I ever had. If only I could see you. If only I could hold you and hear you say how much you wish for the day you rock me in your arms again. Rock me always, rock me always, rock me always. Say how much you love me. Rock me always, rock me always, rock me always. Say how much. If only I could see you. If would hold you and hear you say how much you wish for the day you'll rock me in your arms again. You'll rock me in your arms again. At this point, Rohi is back. Rohi is back home, alone in the room, and she's looking around. Takon is in his cell on his own, wondering, what next? Not much to wonder, because if you are on death row, you know what's next. And Rohi is in the room, and she is so perplexed. So perplexed. What do I do? How am I going to go on without this man? This man was the one who gave me hope. The way he was so determined to keep struggling gave me hope, and I thought that one day we would be able to make it together. What's going to happen to me now? What am I going to do? This next song is a deep expression of Rohi's despair, and it's called Song for a Loved One. Days have gone by, nights have rushed by, yet the tears keep flowing down. And deep down inside, there's a pain that still refuses to die. And right before me, there's a photograph that brings back memories and stabs me in the heart and brings the water out, brings the water out from my eyes. All I wanted, all that I could ever need, you gave to me. When I was lonely, without a friend, you came into my life. You stood beside me in times of trouble. Now you're nowhere to be found, and I'm all alone again, with misery as my friend. I've never felt this kind of pain before. I wish that I could close my eyes for a little while, and all these blasted memories would drift into the past. But then the stupid photograph that's staring right at me, I could rip it into shreds, but then all I have of you would be gone. Oh,
She looks around. Doesn't seem like there's any hope. What next? No clue. Guess what? On her way back from visiting Takon in Cell, she stopped by the market and bought something. Guess what? Anybody has any idea? Anybody has any idea what she bought? I'm very sure Mama will be the last thing on her mind. She bought a rope. That's the point where she brought out her rope, secured it, tied it to the metal protector on the window, tied it into a noose, climbs up on the bed to put it over her neck, and she decides that, Takon, wherever you're going, I'm coming with you. I can't stay back. To do what? I'm coming with you. Let's pause on her for a moment. Let's go to Takon's cell. Takon is in the cell thinking, he's despairing so much in his cell. And I'll tell you exactly what he was saying. He says, this is what he says, listen. God, now what for you? So this is how I am going to leave this world now. Silent, unknown, and with nothing to show for my presence. Now so you go, they look, them go just off me. You know I'm innocent. I'm innocent. They said you are a God of justice. God of the poor, the weak, and the oppressed. Am I not qualified for some of your attention? Look at me. Look at me. Abi life never oppressed me rich. All I have ever done is just try to survive and get by. But if it pleases you to let me die like this, then... But, Baba God, I beg, show. I beg. Now beg, I beg you. Now is the best time for you to show up, oh, because if not, it's all over. We switch from there. Leave him stewing, and we go back to see Rohi in the room. And Rohi too. She's lamenting, and this is what she says for herself. Oh God, I've reached the end of my road, not useful to anybody or even to myself. Who would look at me and want to be like me? Even I don't like being me. They say you don't like anyone killing anybody, not even themselves. But really, what am I still doing here? Who will notice I'm gone? Even you don't care. Takon was right. Everything has just been nearly had a decent life, nearly married, nearly had a baby, nearly had a job, nearly had a good man to love me. For goodness sake, God, I'm feeling so uptight. At least give me peace inside concerning what I want to do now. Is that too much to ask? And guess what? She's in the room. This is how she feels. Takon is in the cell. That's how she feels. He also feels. And somehow, in their individual private worlds, they hear a voice, the same voice, speaking to each person simultaneously. Of course, they don't know that the other person is hearing anything. They hear that voice. And this voice is going to be represented in a song called Be Still and Know. This song represents a flicker of hope and redemption for our characters. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Creation spreads beyond what the eyes may see, and the peoples of the earth, though so many as they be, can't compare with all the glorious heavenly hosts. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted in the heavens. I will be exalted in the earth. And creation bears a witness. So be still and know I am the Lord. Know that I am God, and all that was hidden shall I uncover before you. Even that which had been stolen I recover unto you, and all that was forgotten shall you discover anew. And know that I am God. I will be exalted in the heavens. I will be exalted in the earth. And creation bears all witness. So be still and know. Be still and know. The Lord. Be still and know I am the Lord. And they are both wondering, what was that? And they just can't understand. The next thing that happens, the prison warden comes up to Takon's cell. Oh yeah, my friend, stand up. Have you had your last meal? Yes, I have. Good. There's a lawyer from the Lagos state government. He has something to say. And the lawyer comes, opens his file and begins to read. This is from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State of Nigeria. I, Governor Raji Fashola, Executive Governor of Lagos State of Nigeria, the outgoing governor, in my final duties as the governor, I hereby make a pronouncement on the case of a certain Mr. Takon Ngombai, who has been remanded in prison waiting execution. due to unexplained presentations from members of the public, high-standing members of the public, and due to a lack of enough evidence to prove his guilt, I hereby use the prerogative of mercy to declare him a free man. So, with immediate effect, Mr. Takon Ngombai is hereby declared a free and innocent man. Signed, Executive Governor of Lagos State. Takon was just looking like that with his mouth hanging open. And Badu knew there was a message for Takon, but I'm not sure he saw that coming. Or he knew because he, as a warden, must have been told. But you could see the grudge. Takon is still standing there in the cell. And Badu says to him, "My friend, didn't you hear what the lawyer said? You don't want to go again? Come on, remove my uniform and give me." Takon says, "Oh, I'm free." Quickly he jumps out, takes off all the prison clothes, collects his own, puts on what he brought, what he came in with, and quickly. And as he's going away, he's looking at them just to be sure that nobody's going to change their minds, you know. And he's going. I'm free. And Takon runs. And then the warden calls, "Hey, come back. Come. Oh, what now?" And the lawyer says, "You forgot your release papers so that you can prove you are not an escaped criminal." "Oh, thank you. He rushes back, collects it, and without looking back, man, I'm very sure Usain Bolt would have had a problem with him at that time. Takon rushes home, and he jumps into the house. Rohi, I'm free. Rohi is shocked. The last she knew was this man was going to, in fact, by now he should be dead. And she panics. No, stay away from me, you're dead. Stay away, you're dead. No, Rohi, it's me. And he goes forward to embrace her, and she gives him one. What did you do that for? Takon, is it really you? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Ghosts don't come in through the door. I would have just floated in through the wall. Come on. Look, I'm free. Look at the papers. Free, how? One lawyer just came in and read a message from the Lagos State governor. I was given executive pardon. How? Nobody knows you. You don't know anybody. Who knows how? I don't know. He must be God. And she says, God. Which God? How? And he says, it is God. I know it's God. He spoke to me in my cell. I heard it. Oh, really? He spoke to you in your cell. What did he say? Takon said, he said to me, be still and know that I am God. She said, what? You are not serious. You can't be serious. He said, what do you mean I'm not serious? I know what I heard. That is what I heard. He said, no, that's not what I mean. I heard exactly the same voice. And it said the same thing to me. Be still and know that I am God. I said, I told you. Who else do you know that can speak to two different people in two different locations at the same time and tell them the same thing without any gadgets? Says, surely it must be God. It must be God. And Takon says, yes, that means that for him to do this, he must have forgiven me for all the errors I must have made. He must have forgiven us. And look at you. I came, I saw you about to hang yourself. So both of us would have gone, if not for God. So, yeah, it's beyond our understanding. But it means that God has forgiven us. And like a sharp man that Takon is, he now just put in this part. If God has forgiven us, Rohi, won't you forgive me too? And Takon shows her with this next song that he's not too proud to beg. This song is called Start All Over.
I know I let you down, and I realize what you mean to me. Don't turn your back on me. If I lose your love, I'd go crazy. I just don't know the reason I did it. I just don't know why. I just want to say that I'm sorry. I just want to say so. Can't really believe that you really believe that it's gone. Just can't really believe that you really believe that it's over. Oh, let's start all over. Jẹ́ ká tún bẹ̀rẹ̀, jẹ́ ká tún fẹ́ra wa. Let's start all over. Jọ̀wọ́ dákun má má bínú sí mi lọ títí. One careless moment, when I should have listened, now it's like I'm losing you. But you are the one I need. Would it be too much for you to forgive me? I know deep in your heart that you love me. I know you do, girl. I'll make it up to you, that's a promise. I'll make it up, please. Can't really believe that you really believe that it's gone. I just can't really believe that you really believe that it's over. Oh no, let's start all over. Jẹ́ ká tún bẹ̀rẹ̀, jẹ́ ká tún fẹ́ra wa. Let's start all over. Jọ̀wọ́ dákun má má bínú sí mi lọ títí.
Please forgive me. Now Rohi takes a good long look at Takon. And this is where we say, love conquers all. She forgives him and then begins to think about life. She starts contemplating life, thinking about all the things that have happened in the past. This next song is by Rohi, a recollection of times past and a call to move on. It's called Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time, in the land of sunshine, only happiness lived, and no one ever grieved. Then upon one dreadful day, fear and tears came Once upon a time, we all lived simple and free. Then we had no fences, and our windows had no bars. Mothers fed the neighbor's children, playing in her home that day. And fathers paid the bills and had a little something left always. Where have the good times gone? Children, what's going on? Let's make a start and do the best we can. We've no more tears to shed, no more. All our leaders lie. All they do is bleed us dry, hanging on to power, even if people die. They have had the better parts and left the crumbs for us to pick. Who's to blame? Is it they or God, or is it even you and me? Where have the good times gone? Children, what's going on? Let's make a start and do the best we can. We've no more tears to shed, no. Where, oh where have the good times gone? Children, oh children, what's going on? Let's make a start and do the best we can. We've no more tears to shed, no, no, no more. So they now both reassess their second chance at life. You know, if you've ever been to a swimming pool before and you didn't know how to swim and you nearly drowned, what is the next thing you are going to do the minute you come out of that water? Anybody knows? Anybody? Any idea? The minute you manage to come out of that water, you just quietly go and pack your clothes and just find your way home quietly. No, once is enough. So, preservation. Self-preservation is so important. Now, they sit down and analyze the situation and believe that for them to have been preserved, there must be a reason to fulfill a purpose. That's why they're not yet dead. And so, they feel they need to eagerly embrace a new opportunity, a new future. They've been saved from death for a reason. They must have a purpose to fulfill. They must have something to do. They must have something to offer the world. They must shout their song, sing their testimony out loud for the world to hear and become relevant. So, they are so excited. They want to try something new. A new opportunity for love again. A new opportunity for another chance at life. Yes, they failed before and all that, but then, okay. But we're still alive. So that excitement is what moves them, propels them into this next scenario. And this song is a duet where our two characters reaffirm their love and care for each other and are looking forward to a bright future. It's called Loving and Leaving. Oops, you're going to give me a few seconds. Technology is great, but sometimes, when you go press the wrong button, man, sometimes you just find that these things have a way of
messing around with your plans. So, never mind. We're going to get it. We're going to get it back. We're going to get it back. Yes, there we go. There we go. And this song, like I said, is called Loving and Living. It's an expression of give me just one chance. It's all I want. Try me just one time. It's all I ask. I just want to be your lover, to hold you close to me forever. There's so much we could but discover, emotions such as we have never. Just believe in me and you'll see we can make it real. 'Cause I believe in loving and I believe in you. Tell me you love me. It's all I want. Show me you need me. It's all I ask. From today we'll be together. I promise you there'll be no other. And if you ever see another, as long as we both have each other, you can turn your back and you'll be right. But I'm telling you, don't you ever worry, 'cause I'm in love with you. Loving and living and loving and giving, loving and living and caring and sharing, loving and living and loving and giving, all of this together make life worth living. Don't pretend you don't care, 'cause I know the way that you feel. In your eyes there is fear, 'cause you know the feeling is real. Take time and listen to your heart. No need for you to be afraid of love. I'm here to teach you from the start. And soon we're gonna be loving and living and loving and living and loving and living in love. 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 And suddenly, and Takon puts his hand in his pocket, brings out his puts his hand in his pocket, brings out his phone, and this conversation takes place. Hello? Yes? This is Takon Gombai speaking. Sorry. Please, say that again. Are you sure you know what you're saying? What? It's a lie. You are offering me a job? You who said I was underqualified and overqualified at the same time? Such a high-level job with that kind of money, but I don't have any experience now. What do you mean, am I sure? How would I have experience when nobody ever gave me work? No. Of course I want the job now. Now play. It's just this experience matter. I thought, oh, really? My years of volunteer work with charities can be accepted? Wow. Yes. Next week. In fact, I can start tomorrow. Even now as I'm talking to you, should I start coming? But are you sure this offer will still be open by next week? Okay, I'm calm. Seriously, I'm calm now. No problem. Next week, I'll be there. Thank you. I beg, no change mouth next week, oh. Yeah, thank you. And Takon is jumping all over the place. Takon is so happy. He says, woo! And that is how Takon moved from zero to hero. And Rohi says, don't don't worry about me. If it's good for him, it's good for me. And they're so overwhelmed that they get caught up in the frenzy, and their celebration continues. I just want to be your lover, to hold you close to me forever. There's so much we could both discover, emotions such as we have never. Just believe in me and you'll see we can make it real. Cause I believe in loving and I believe in you. Loving and living, loving and living, loving and living, loving and living. Loving and living and loving and giving, loving and giving and caring and sharing, loving and living and loving and giving, loving is together make life worth living, loving and living and loving and giving, loving and giving and caring and sharing, loving and living and loving and giving, all of this together make life worth living, loving and living. Sing with me, loving and living. One more time, loving and living. One more time, loving and living. Thank you very much. Now you know what happened to Takon and Rohi. That's the end of my story. I think at this point, I will give the mic to my boss.
What can I say? I've been in MK for maybe 10 years, and I don't think I've ever gone out to a show like this one. Am I right?
Yes, you are right.
I've gone to the cinema. I've gone to the town center. I've gone to fix my phone. But I've never gone to a show like this. One round of applause, please. I can only tell you that the debate he was talking about, you know, he said there was a heavy debate about the title of this program. I think I'm going to agree that it has come out quite well. I'm not going to point at you. I'm not going to point at you what that debate was about, the title, but I think it's been a fantastic show. Those butterflies that he talked about, I didn't notice any butterflies. He did very well. I'm really hoping we can take this to the next level. There were a lot of things in it that non-Nigerians, I don't know whether they'll understand it. They'll get it? Thank you very much for that endorsement. Thank you. That was a big debate. That was a big debate. Will non-Nigerians get it? I couldn't figure out whether a Zimbabwean would sit here and understand. I can't remember any of those nuances, but yeah. They'll get it? Fantastic job, fantastic. Yeah? Let me let you say that aloud.
So that's the beautiful thing about the show. It's a Nigerian stuff. That's beautiful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. We go to watch shows that are other cultures and we learn something from it. So it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you very much. I like Nigerians. If we like it, you got to like it. I really think that was a fantastic show. I'm very happy. I think it's something we can take places. I'm very excited to see my Jamaican brother here. Don't worry. Don't worry. We've adopted you on this occasion. We've adopted you. Can I hear you say one or two things, please?
This is powerful. That is what I do. I do theater. And one-man theater is always really hard. What you kind of captured was putting everybody on stage. I saw every single person you talked about. You described them perfectly. You could feel their emotions and their pain and every trauma they went through. That was so magical, and your songs are very powerfully original. Thank you for this beautiful experience. I could see the show. I could see a black box theater. I could see one man with a spotlight on him. I could see a little side where you have backing vocalists who do all the hard work for you so you can continue telling your story perfectly. I could still see a good lighting designer, a good lighting director putting the right lights on you. And your words are so beautiful in your song. My only wish was that the volume of the music was lower so I could hear your words more. They were fabulous, absolutely powerful. But you don't have that ability to control it in this kind of space. So imagine this in a theater. I'll pay to go see it.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I can see your head almost popping off your neck. I want to hear you. I can see
Well,
that.
I am not Nigerian. I am not Ghanaian. I am
Oh,
from
wow.
the Caribbean.
Where
And
in the
I
Caribbean?
didn't, Grenada to be exact. I didn't understand what you said. Would we miss or understand?
There were some Nigerian expressions in what you said.
No, I that went in here and it stayed in. The story was beautiful, although we arrived a bit late. Like this gentleman said, I can imagine, I can visualize the characters. Even the prison warden, I can imagine what it's like. So thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Wow. And we almost canceled this show. Almost canceled this show. Somebody here said no. I'm not pointing at anybody, but somebody here said no. We'll run the show. All right, calm down. I'm going to give it to you. Calm down.
Hello, this is wonderful. I think we are a privileged audience. That's all I was thinking. I said this demands a big, how do I put it? A big show, where people are encouraged to come to be enlightened, because it's just wonderful. I just hope that it was at the Milton Keynes Theatre. I've not been there before, but I know we have one. And all black people and their friends can come and enjoy this, because it's just wonderful. You are a gem. Wow. A special gem. Yeah.
Thank you. Trouble. Hello. Your turn.
My turn.
This is Madame. Everybody give her a wonderful round of applause.
Thank you. Honestly, I have been used to this particular production with a full cast, and I was always wondering, when he said solo show, I was wondering, how would you alone do what I have seen so many other people do together? And I must confess that what he played out here, I didn't miss any of the other characters, because he captured everything that the story was about. So it was a good show. Thank you.
Wow.
That's my wife.
Wow. You're not moving from here. We have a Jamaican sister here. She knows why I'm pursuing her. Hello.
Hi. I'm Jackie, and enjoy your food. Thank you for the session.
Right, so whatever you're eating, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. I think I'm going to hand over to Sam, because he's got a question and answer series that will go to the part 2 of this. I have deliberately not asked Peter to say anything just yet. I'll get to him later. Let's have some food. Can we do that? And do some mingling, and then you do your questions after the food, or you want to do it while they are eating? We do it while we eat. So I hand over to Sam once again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, this is our interactive session. And first things first, disclaimer. This question and answer segment is not a therapy session. It is intended solely for the discussion of personal opinions and thoughts about fictional characters and events in a literary narrative. Any emotional or mental health discussions do not constitute professional advice. For emotional and mental health concerns, please see a qualified professional. Thank you. Now, question 1. Which characters do you remember, and why exactly? Anybody wants to go first? Take it. Microphone. Who said Monday? Oh, you remember Monday? Okay. Why exactly do you remember Monday?
Because his name was mentioned at the very beginning.
Because his name was mentioned.
At the very beginning, and Monday is a very common word.
Ah, okay. All right. Anybody else? What characters do you remember? Microphone here.
Roy.
Rohi?
Yes.
Why?
Because of all she's been through. From the beginning, she had to be given away to her uncle, and the uncle abused her. The Badu that she met as well abused her till she met Taco.
Okay.
And even with Taco, he didn't listen to her when she was advising him, and she would have gone through, she was even ready to kill herself, commit suicide, till she heard the voice of God to save her. So I remember Roy's story.
Yeah, powerful reasons. Anybody else? Who do you remember? Who else do you remember? Huh? You remember Takon? Why? Give him the microphone. Why do you remember Takon?
The wife told him not to go somewhere. What did he do? What do we husbands do? How many times do they tell us, sit down? No. No, we know too much. He went and ended up on death row. See his trouble.
Thank you. Okay, now, how does the nature of each character come across to you? How does Rohi's nature come across to you? Anybody?
Rohi hasn't got too much choice. She's in a situation that has been foisted on her because of where she comes from and who she is sent to. And also, it's quite interesting to sit in the space you are in and think that will never happen to you. Rohi is the product of everything around us, where we set up with dreams as children, and as we grow up, those dreams get disintegrated. She didn't get up at age 7 and say, I'm going to grow up and be a prostitute part-time. That wasn't her journey.
Exactly.
But at times, things happen to people, and at times, humanity judges because we are not there yet. So she breaks me. She really breaks my heart, and she deserves whatever she gets. But unfortunately, you worry when she's landed well, whether somebody will try and use her past against her. She has to take her past and control it and say, it's happened, I can't rewind it. She's miraculous. She's really powerful.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Any other person? How does the nature of...
When she went to prison and met...
Takon?
No, her boyfriend.
Oh, Badu.
And she was able to resist him. She could have very easily have said, in true Nigerian form, I'll meet you in your office after office hours. But you make sure my boyfriend gets out of jail. She could have attempted to strike a deal, but she walked away. It takes a strong woman to have her boyfriend incarcerated, to have something of an opportunity, however obnoxious it is, to try and resolve it, and to walk, and to leave it in God's hands. It worked.
Okay. Any other character that comes across you want to share your opinion of the nature of the character? Any other character? Is there? Okay, let me point out something here. You see, the HR person who was interviewing him for a job told him that he's overqualified and underqualified at the same time. He came for one particular job, they told him he was underqualified. He came for this one, they told him he's overqualified, just so that he would not get the job. Then he goes to the embassy and the consul, denies him a visa. And what happens? Takon loses it. He becomes extremely angry to the point of aggression. You see? So we need to remember that people like the HR and people like the consul, they are just doing designated jobs which may be beyond their own personal control and therefore should not be the recipients of misplaced aggression. That is supposed to be a lesson in self-control, because there was nothing they could do about Takon's situation. So him getting aggressive, not being able to control himself, wasn't going to help to make anything different. No. So what kind of experiences can you identify in Rohi's life? That's from the experiences that you have heard Rohi gone through. Has anybody here been through anything remotely similar? Would you care to share? Nothing that is too personal. If it's too personal, you don't have to say anything. But if there's something that you can share that ties in with one of the experiences of Rohi or Takon, just for us to see how life is general.
Yeah, that's what I said. Everybody in this room is gone through that kind of stuff, because that's the way life plays out. Anyways, there's always ups and downs.
True.
Okay, zero into me now. I've been in very tight situations all my life. Very, very tight. I have a track record of being in tight situations, and also a track record of coming out of tight situations. Sometimes situations that you just have to wait on the divine element to come in. Naturally speaking, there's no way out. Naturally, you've come to the end of the road.
Yeah.
And you don't have any way out. But God will just step in and open a door miraculously for you. So there is that element of relatability to me. I can relate to that very well, because that's been my story all my life. I've always been in tight situations, and I've always been someone coming out of tight situations all my life. And I'm still coming out of it. That's why I'm always a strong guy, man. Yeah.
Good. Thank you so much for that, because what we've just done is trying to identify some inhibitions, some triggers, and because you see, these things, they have a way they make you feel over time. You understand? Over time, you begin to think about certain things that have happened to you and how it happened, how it could have gone if it didn't happen that way, and the result of what happened, and what kind of thoughts it triggered. And sometimes mindsets are developed from things like that. And we may be able to hold these mindsets for a very long time. But you see, sometimes when we come in contact with some other people's perspectives and some people's point of view, it makes us begin to look at certain things from a different perspective. Let me use myself as an example. You see this man? It's not very long since I knew him. But I learned something very interesting from him, because of something he's always accusing me of. He's always accusing me of being defensive about anything and everything. I know him to be a very spontaneous character. And sometimes a light bulb will just go on in his head, and he sees the light, and he has an idea of what next. Some of us don't function that way. We are more cautious, let me put it that way. We like to look at everything from different angles and be sure that we are taking the right step before we move. The truth is that caution is very useful, very necessary. However, having scrutinized it very well, I realize that if one is not careful, there is a thin line between caution and fear. And when it crosses from caution to fear, you may not know. We may not know. And so, because he's always accusing me of that, I have taken time to sit down and analyze my actions, my decisions, some of the things I do, when I do them, how I do them, why I do them, and it has brought me to the point where I begin to look to try and identify that fine line between caution and fear, so that I do not now cross over from caution into fear and begin to act and decide on things based on fear, having left caution behind. So, if I had not had him always harping at me about that, I would probably never have taken the time to think about it. So you see how meeting people and looking at things from other perspectives can be a positive thing to you. So Tony, God bless you for that. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I learned something. Now, what do you think of Bado's attitude when he rejects Rohi's pregnancy, saying little girls don't play the games that women play? What do you think about that attitude? Anybody?
It is the way of man. It is the way of man. You see, the thing is, my daughter say, "Dad, why do you treat our brother different from us?" And I say, "Your brother can't get pregnant." You know, and I guess no matter how he tries, he can't get pregnant. And it's the way of man. Everybody takes the shortest distance to pleasure without taking into consideration the impact of that pleasure. It's everything. I mean, I've always said that all sin is laziness. That's my theory. Every sin on the planet is laziness. Name one that isn't laziness, and I'll be able to prove otherwise. Instead of nurturing a good relationship with his wife, he went for a quick relationship with somebody who was in a place where they were needy. But he didn't invest in that person. So when it came to the actuality of responsibility, he disappeared. People don't like responsibility. People like to believe they like responsibility. People like to drive fast cars, but if they hit something, they don't want to be the one who repairs it. People like to live in big houses, but they don't want to pay the mortgages for it. And people would like to take others' life to play with. But when the responsibility of their life comes to face them, they try to find a way of avoiding it. I was waiting for the next question to be, "Are you sure it was me?"
No, but he did. He said to her, "You think I didn't know about all that time you were street walking?"
Yes. And so that was that journey. So he had created a deniability before he even got involved in his responsibility.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because you may sit back and think, why didn't she know better? She didn't. She saw hope in the darkest place on the planet. At times she reached for the nearest light. That light could be fire. She got burned. It's a very horrible person, but unfortunately it happens. And in our culture, it happens a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so...
I think I disagree with you there. That, we don't need to agree anyways. Yeah, that men or people generally don't like taking responsibilities. No, I disagree with you there.
It is not men in general. When I say men, it's a generic term.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, human beings, don't like taking. No, there are some people who grow up to love responsibilities. They hold themselves responsible and accountable. Which made you to go ahead to now say that naturally speaking, human beings don't like taking.
Children always take the easy way out. That is how children are. They don't mean to be mean, but you know what? If your child can come down the stairs without having to take a step, they will. It becomes a fall and it hurts. But the first option, we all do that. You do that. You come into a space, you look for the nearest chair to sit on, because it's convenient, averagely. You don't ask, was that somebody's chair? We don't. Because we all take the easy route. So I actually think, and this is my theory, that being good is contrary to nature. You have to work harder to be good than not. You have to try to be a decent person. You have to try to ask, are you okay? You have to try to enter the room and say, what's your name? Because it will lead to a conversation and a responsibility. You actually, whereas being selfish is easy. I come, I sit, I grab, I eat, I go. I don't care what you feel. So,
in other words, being good is difficult.
Hello.
It doesn't come naturally.
I don't think Yao is disregarding the exception. We have exceptions, exceptional situations. We have exceptions, but he's talking about majority of the case, what happens, and I think it is the case. There are people who are, well cultured, or naturally, that is their inclination. They want to take responsibility. I have a friend who would even take the responsibility when it's not even his fault. To say sorry, it's in his nature. So that is the point he's trying to make. We are not disregarding the fact that there are very good people who would take responsibility.
I hear what he's saying now to begin with. We're just talking about character. I didn't come early enough, so I have no moral right to comment on it. But I just think that there are people naturally lie, maybe because of.
Could you put up the mic?
That's what life teaches you. Life teaches you to be responsible. Life teaches you. There's a guy in my country called Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Yeah. He once sang that a fool at 40 is a fool forever. So what that means is that if at 40, which could be 30, 20, 50, whatever, if at that age life has not taught you some lessons for you to learn, to be responsible, to hold yourself accountable, to always want to take the easy way out. Again, those are subjective things, you see what I'm saying? But I think at the end of the day, it's just my viewpoint as well, which I hear you loud and clear,
Your view is very important. That's the beauty of it. Your view is very important. And the beauty of it is that we don't have to agree to live in the same space. We just have to tolerate and accept each other's viewpoint. You get what I mean? So, for example, relationship-wise, you may be with somebody you think is the most beautiful person in the world, and I may be with somebody who I think is the most beautiful person in the world. My mom said something important ages ago. He goes, I was complaining about her relationship with my brother, and she goes, I don't have to love you less to love him more. Love is infinite. Do you get that? Yes, great. So we all exist in spaces where we deal with things from different viewpoints. But I also believe that when it hits the fan, your viewpoint will change. If a fire broke out here, the first person you will try to save is you. If the ceiling fell down, your head will order your hand to protect it. Why doesn't the hand hurt you? It hurts, but the head is more important. And then if you had a child here, you'll take your child before you'd even take your wife. Your wife will take your child before she takes you. And then any other person is a spare person. It doesn't mean you are a worse person. It's just the way human nature is. We live in the concept of protecting our future. So I will save my child before you. It's natural. It's not because I hate you or your child, but it's because my first instinct. That's why they have to give you instructions in the plane that when the thing comes and you need oxygen, put yours on your face first before you put it on your child. Because your natural instinct is to protect your continuity before yourself. So life is really exciting like that. That is why we are who we are.
Before we go on to the next question, you said that your daughter said, why do you treat her different to her brothers? And your response was, they can't get pregnant. Now, as a mother, I've always said to my boys, I'm a mother of 2 boys and 1 girl, and I've always said to my boys that, remember, you have a sister. So when you go out and you meet a girl, treat that girl the way you would like your sister to be treated. I've also experienced on a very packed Piccadilly line train coming from Heathrow on a morning, And there were some young boys, black boys, on the train. I'm not going to say what nationality they were, but one of them was talking, they were talking to each other, and one of them said, oh, well, I gave her this, that, and, you know, she didn't like it. And then she was complaining about her friend was coming after me, so I slept with her friend as well. And this was on a packed train. And I don't know, people think that I'm very sort of confident. I'm not normally, but I think once I reached 40 or 50, I would say, I became more confident. And I said to this boy, I turned around and I said to him, excuse me, do you have a sister? And he said, yes. And I turned around to the other one and I said, do you have a sister? Do all of you have sisters? Do you have a mother? How would your mother feel if she heard you talking about like a daughter, your sister, or a friend like that? How would your mother feel? And by the time we got to Acton Town, this was at Northfield Station, when we got to Acton Town, one of the boys turned to me and he said, Ma, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I hear you. Sorry. By the way, could I have the McDonald's free burger offer on the back of your newspaper? And I said, you're welcome to it. But just remember that women are to be treasured. Just like we treasure, us parents, we treasure our children. As the boys were going out, there was an Asian man further down, and he just looked at me and he mouthed, thank you. Now, if it was him saying that, there would have been a totally different atmosphere, reaction from the boys on the train, okay? I'm digressing from the story, but this character who we came late a bit, I can relate to some of the experiences she's going through from the point of view of a woman, from the point of view of going back into my life when I was younger, going for a job with Guinness in Park Royal and being told, oh, you're overqualified. They didn't want to employ me. I didn't realize at the time. It took me years. That day I went for 3 interviews, but thank God I got 2 offers. But I wasn't good enough for Guinness. But later on in life, I was blessed with a job. And I often wonder about this lady who was the HR person at Guinness. I thought, by the time I got my job that I really stayed 32 years at, you probably weren't at Guinness anymore. I often wonder about that. We don't know what God has got in our line. We don't know. You mentioned about if something was falling from the ceiling, that's our instinct to protect ourselves, yes. But knowing my husband as I do, I know he would also try and protect me because that is his character. We are all different. We are all different. And that's what I have.
Yes, we're handing over to my boss.
You know, the main objective of this show is this part of the show. It's therapy. I know there was a disclaimer, and I'm not a medical doctor, nor am I a brain surgeon. So I really don't want to say anything that will amount to, oh, Tony said. It's not about Tony said. It's about that story or the many stories in it and us and the correlation, if any, and the takeaways. And, you know, talking and how talking like this does. It brings to the fore the different opinions based on our experiences. It brings to, as an African father, my children came here when they were a bit old. And so they needed to wear two hats in this country. They needed to wear the African hat because that's where they had been brought up. But now they live in England. And that's home. And sadly for them, I'm an African father. So those who know what that means, know what that means. No means no, and I speak, and it's the end of the game. And the children will be looking at me like, excuse me? Where do you think you are? And up to today, my children still challenge me. Now they can. They have chests. Their shoulders are now taller than their heads. So they can talk to me now. They couldn't do it then. And I like the way you smile. I like the way, you see. And I'm having to listen to them. And now they are having their children. And the way they are bringing up their children is different from how I brought them up. They discuss with their children. My granddaughter, my goodness sake, she runs the house. Mom, don't you think we should do this? I'm sorry. No, I think we should do this. You see what I mean? So these stories are interesting. That lady, very Nigerian story. There are very many people like that. There are very many people who are, I'm sorry, they don't have an option. There are very many who choose to play the easy game. You know that word, easy? I just need a man in my life, and he will pay all my bills, and he will buy me my car, and he will do everything for me, and I just have to be there. Girls today will tell you that a man needs a girlfriend. Today, they will tell you straight, you couldn't do that before. You can't do that in England. If you tell a girl here in England that, you stay at home, be my side chick is the expression, they will be shocked. What is side chick? What does that mean? These are girls who go out and they bring the bill. The bill is 20 pounds. She pays her 10 pounds. You pay your 10 pounds. End of story. You know? So we live in a different time frame. That story was a Nigerian story. I'm not even sure that, I was going to say non-Nigerians. Like I said earlier, we really relate to it because we played too far. I went to work ages ago for a company called Dowell Schlumberger. Anybody heard of them? Dowell, they are in the oil services sector. Many interviews, many goes and comes, and I got the job. I got to the job on the Monday morning, the day I was supposed to start. And I was told to wait at the reception, following from your story. And next thing I see everybody, maybe about an hour and a half later, I see everybody leaving, going home. And what has happened? The staff have gone on strike over my employment. This is in 1982. This was when we were only supposed to be cleaning the windows. We were not supposed to come in and be part of the executive team. And I had been given a fantastic job. 2 years in France, 2 years in Angola, and then I come back to England. Imagine, you are 24 and somebody is telling you 2 years in France and 2 years in Angola as a foreign expert. And the whole of Dowell on Edgware Road went home. And of course, they couldn't afford to let those people go, so they withdrew the offer from me. So when you say, have people had these experiences and all, I don't even want to start. Because me alone, I will hold this microphone for the whole day. You know, I don't even want to start. I don't want to think of the days, those days when you drive a car and the police see you and they are going to stop you only because you are black and only because you are driving. It doesn't matter what else when they were doing stop and search. It's not a big deal now, but it was a big deal in my time. It's still on? I don't even want to think about that. I don't want to think about the children walking home in Lewisham from school and the boys in gangs are putting a knife in them. We all know the story of Damilola Taylor. I don't want to think about it. Yeah, thank you. I don't want to think about the Toxteth riots or the ones in Tottenham in those days. I don't want to think about the things we've gone through for our children today to know a better London and a better England. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about the stories my parents told me. They are looking for a house and it's written, no blacks. Written on the window. You see the ad for a room in the newspaper, you go to the house and it's written there, no blacks. I don't want to. Well, and or in Nigeria we say to you, a woman cannot come and rent a house. Imagine such a law. A single woman cannot come and rent a house. She must come with a man. So
what you just said now is what makes this story authentic. Every story has to be authentic. And authenticity doesn't have to mean compromise. It doesn't have to mean conformity. The minute it conforms, that authenticity or the originality is taken away. What is a Nigerian story? It is a very Nigerian story. You come to England, there are English stories, there are very British stories, like you've just said. You know, I used to be a teacher for 20-something years. Yeah, I was a teacher. And in Stockwell Park School, I don't know what they call it now because names of school change a lot. But back in the days, it used to be that when school was over, the police have to be called in every single school day for children to go home. The fight in London used to be even about postcode. SE25, you're in SE24, you don't have any business here. I used to teach in Selhurst High School for boys. St. Mary's School used to come and attack our boys in Selhurst High School. I used to be the only guy who would pop out there and stand there because I'm a Nigerian and confront those boys, and I was hailed like a hero. That's what brought respect for me as a teacher, which is because of my Nigerian roots. I went into very tough. I heard you mention something about acting. We never used to go to acting to teach because that was a rough zone to go. No one, if you see a teacher who went to acting, forget it, man. He's a real survivor. Acting, no one want to be good teaching that acting.
I'm sorry. We have a situation. We need to deal with it. We can shut this down now because pastor needs to go away. Or we can say, pastor, go away, we are staying. One or two. We shut it down now, or we let pastor go. One or two. Are we good for another hour? See what I just did? I gave it to you with my left hand, and I realized, no, I can't do that.
I understood what you you were saying that this my husband's saying I should hold the mic to my mouth. The story is a Nigerian story. Yes, I put that in quotes. Because this story could be told in Ghana, it could be told in Grenada, it could be told in Barbados, it could be told in Trinidad. It could be told here in Milton Keynes in reality. Because it is life. It is life. And we can stay here the whole night and have a conversation about the characters and what happened in their life because it is our lives as well. And we've each, as it's been mentioned before, we've each gone through a lot of what the characters have gone through. We've known Abadu, we've known, I say we.
Yes, that's what our children think. They think we just fell from the sky and we didn't go through all of this. We did. We just made choices. I remember growing up and my mother, particularly my mother was Jamaican and she'd been in Nigeria since 1960. And I was 2 years old when we went back to Nigeria. And why do I tell you this? Because she's a foreigner, much was expected from her, or she didn't want her children to fail because she wasn't a Nigerian. She needed to make it work, which I suppose Nigerians also needed. But because she was foreign, it was difficult for her. And she spent a lot of time telling me, why can't you be like this one? Why can't you be like that one? I will mention no names because my wife will know some. But I can tell you that as we started becoming 18, 19, 21, they started going to jail. So this story is live. It's me. I know it. This story is live. These are boys that came from good homes and whatever, and next thing they are doing drugs. And you ask yourself, I know one who made a pilot. He had just become a pilot. First thing he did, he got into the business of carrying drugs and he got caught. And that shut down his pilot life. Half-caste boy. Half-caste, you know what we mean by half-caste? So everything was going well for this guy. Lost it all. So you ask yourself, at what point did he move off that golden track? I really need to bring this under control because of time. We know some people have a train to catch at 9 o'clock, so they need to leave here by 8. We know it's 7 o'clock now, am I right? We know you need to go. I'm really loving this convo. I'm sure this therapy, you are right about it, it's working because by talking, it's happening. Do we run it for another half hour? I think we can do an hour, or we shut it down. I need a
I would say what I'm coming to realize of late is that human beings cannot stand isolation. And when we come together, it's just beautiful. And so we have to partake as much as possible. Because sometimes the situations arrive where you can't afford, you can't have the company that you wish you have. So let's enjoy each other's company as long as possible.
This is what I love about Africa or the West Indies. We would be sitting under some tree, eating coconut water, drinking coconut water, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. But unfortunately, we're in England, and so there's time restraints, and we need to manage it. Yeah. You know, I have a lot of time for anybody that is a teacher in this country. I have a lot of time for anybody that's a black teacher in this country, and I have most time for anybody that is a teacher in London, even today. So to the teachers in this room, we love you. To the teachers in this room, we love you. It's not easy. I used to own a private school here in this England, and the simple act of seeing two children fighting, and the fact that you can't even go and separate them by touching them, you know where we come from. You are fighting? You mean you are jobless enough to be fighting? You see that grass over there, all of it. You alone with your knife, just you go and finish it up. And you do that here, they arrest you. You see, it's a difficult job. Sam, I'm not trying to take away your shine. I'm not trying to take away your shine.
Please carry on.
My wife is whispering to my ears that let's leave this so that we'll bring you all here another day and have a cause et, a reason for being. Yeah? Yeah, I'm showing off my French. Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll have a reason for being, and that will give us time to clear up and finish up for today. And maybe next time we meet in Trinidad and Tobago or Grenada or... You're in Ghana now. Yes, good. So under the palm tree, like I said. Pastor Peter, say something to us.
Thank you, Doctor. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Solomon and Dr. Tony. It's such a privilege to have had this occasion. I hope I can be heard clearly. Okay, that's all right. And thank you, special people. I mean, how shall I name all of your names? I might not remember everyone, but you're all very special. Thank you so much for coming around. And what I would say for the show, with the right circumstances and time, nearly can kill a bird. I say that with caution. I have enjoyed the show. I can see from a business perspective, it will work. There's a market, a big market, I would say. I think that's what my brother there pointed out. It's just for us to make sure it's well packaged together. I think all wisdom is needed to get it working. And of course, it will promote not just about individual organizations, but the black race around this hemisphere. I think there's a big market. Does that resonate with everybody? Yes. I think it should do. So congratulations, a big yes from BSSN. Yeah. So I hope that the fundraising element will follow from different sides. We couldn't go into that here now, but I would suppose that we'll be supporting our brother. Mr. Sam has been tremendously helping the BSSN, and I'm so happy for Dr. Tony, who helped to facilitate it, and Dr. It's a great privilege. I've known Sam for, I think, nearly 30 years, and his artistic flair has come to prominence here in England, because I've been a bit skeptical. I want to be very honest with that, but having sat down and worked, I think there's something about him that can, have many arrowheads to breed something more than I had seen. So, like I said, it's a privilege to have him in our midst, and we see a future in it, and we thank God for the opportunity. So it's just about thanking you all again. I mean, all your contributions are wonderful, and this is going to spark that big debate, nearly can kill a bird. It will do more good to our human experiences. It's the many colors of life. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I will leave it back to Dr. Tony.
Thank you, sir. We're going to shut this down. I know you mentioned fundraising. I just want to say something before the fundraising. Please sit down. And I'm talking to Sam. He called me what? Reckless. Was that the expression? Sorry? Spontaneous, not reckless. We're all masters of this English language. You know, there are ways English people tell you things like, don't you think? No, they don't mean don't you think. They are telling you do it. No, I'm not a spontaneous character. I might look like I am, but maybe I'm just a fast thinker. I mean, it's not me. It's just, maybe I'm 10 steps ahead. Well, that's why the gray hair. It can work. The man has been to university to do music. He has taught university students as a lecturer. Who better than him to sit and amuse us? So there was no debate about doing this show. I'm sorry. What did I miss? There was no debate about doing the show. You know, we saw you last week, and we said there's a show. I think we had made the decision, 10 days ago? Maybe 2 weeks ago, and I think that was a surprise. How can we have a show in 2 weeks? Are we not having it? Are we not having it? Because if we had stayed in the realm of, what did you call it? Caution. Know who we come, why will they come, who knows us, and we wouldn't do it. We won't do it. There's every reason not to do something. There's every reason not to leave the house. You know, you said something earlier. There's every reason to be selfish. I'll just stay in my corner, just me and my chair. My wife, you know me for that. Just dig a hole safe. You say, right, I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need to go out. I don't need to do anything. But that's absolutely selfish. And they will tell you that the richest place in this world is the graveyard because of the amount of people who have things up here, but they didn't externalize. They chose to be inward. It's not me, and if you're going to be near me, I'm going to corrupt you. You cannot be cautious by me. I'm sorry. Let me do the worrying. We're going to do this show, and we will do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. It's been a wonderful evening. Thank you.
There are a few associations in Milton Keynes, so we have to rope them all in. We have to entice them to be part of it. There are a lot of churches.
My teachers will come and say, oh, there's this and what. I say, good, that's your job. Who is in charge here?
I don't live here.
we get your phone number. Those associations he knows, get him. Get your office. I like that. You have to come to Ghana. We will come. Are you here, Sam? Bravo.
Yes. Whilst you were doing the show, I was thinking of a presenter who would really love to host you.
Oh.
I don't know him personally, but I have to go and look for him.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was wondering,
Thank you.
Is there a video?
We'll get that done.
Yes.
Well,
yes, he will love it.
Okay.
And then also, there could be a follow-up on other themes with other themes, highlighting other areas of life. That, you know, because as it is now, social media is taking people down the wrong rabbit hole. And we need to redeem social media to teach them the right things they are missing and they need to know for their future. A lot of young people are getting lost because there's no proper guidance and teaching in what they watch. Yes, so that's the angle I want to direct it at. Thank you.
Okay.
Very much. We appreciate you.
If I could say a few words.
You know me, when people tell me we should do it like this, I give them the microphone. Oh yeah, madam.
I was just telling him that the background of this show was the issue of the immigration and the reason why Tony got involved. There's a financial issue. Then Tony asked him, what is your talent to be able to bring forth whatever you need to resolve that financial issue? And that's what pushed him to just bring out what we saw today. So my plea is anyone that has been touched by this show, if there's any financial contribution that you can do for him, that would be good. Even if it's a business, somebody that can introduce him, that will provide the funds to be able to do, because there's a pressure. Me, I don't like playing games like that. There's a pressure and there's a time to do it. So we are now one family. It's better to bring it. You don't know who God is going to use to bring the answer. So any contribution is welcome to support our brother to be able to resolve the financial issue that him and the family are facing right now. So that's what.
One person here can just make the right decision. If I'm looking at you.
I just want to add my voice. I'll be coming from a different angle altogether. I want if there's any contribution we want to make, apart from the personal issues that have just been mentioned, I want us to appreciate a great talent. We've had a wonderful evening, everything paid for, the space paid for, food and drink provided, and free. It's because we believe in this man and we have made this investment. It's just like any business. You think of an overhead cost, or a building, you think about the foundation. That is what we have done today for some. And we are building a family, we are building a generation. We are creating a situation where somebody who would contemplate suicide would not, because of a story like this or a performance like this, or even us as adults. We can come to a place like this where our stress levels will reduce because we've had some form of entertainment, we've had people to interact with, and then we go back home with, sweet moments and sweet memories. So I want us to sow into this great talent. Happy that Yao is here. Our area is events and network. As I said, I'm already thinking about what other events that we could, how can we get a big stage like Stantonbury? They have a whole theater, a big capacity to start with before we go to the theater district and all that. So we and the interesting thing is that if you're a business person, you begin to realize that you can even benefit from this. When there's a show, there are other things. We had Jackie bring food. She's a caterer. We can give her a contract, because there's a show. So people would have their businesses, enjoying the space, and also we supporting a great talent. I think that it is what we've seen today. He was here yesterday to also offer a free performance to us. It was wonderful. It wasn't a storyteller. He was behind the piano. See him, we didn't see anything like that today. He is an amazing person. The fact that in terms of studio engineering, there's so much that can come out of this talent. Let us not let this go to the grave unfulfilled. So let's sow a seed into, from church perspective, we talk about seed. Let's sow a seed into this person and trust that we can have more sessions like this, have more people come and join the fold and also enjoy times like this. I also want to announce that for this space, we intend to have things like this at least twice a month. Food, music, and some form of entertainment. So watch the space when we come inviting you. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay, we're going to end with these two notes. One, Merry Christmas in advance. You all have a wonderful, wonderful week leading up to Christmas Day. And 3-4 days after that, my wife will be 60 years old on the 1st of January. You see, the trouble with 1st of January people is they want Christmas presents and they want birthday presents. It's not going to happen. So, my brother, come and be going home because you are part of the problem. Christmas Eve as well. So, on the 1st of January, we'll be expecting to see you all here. I haven't spoken to Sam about this yet, but I think that's going to be the occasion to continue with this question and answer series. Havila, I'm not looking at you, but I can see you looking at me. 1st of January. Havila is my son. His story is a very interesting one. You see him today, he has put on weight. I like to yab this boy. Havila, I'm proud of you. 1st of January, shall we say, people are here? We go for it? Same time? 3 to 4? 3 for 4? You are going to make it, Sam? Trouble. Are you going to make it?
Just tell me the date.
Just tell you the details. Okay. So we are agreeing. 1st of January. 3 for 4. Pastor, on time. You and me, we need to work on the issue of time. We do. Because if Prince Charles was here talking, you'll be here on time. So why is it when it's me, you are late? I mean, I'm trying to work this out. I don't. Thank you. Look, enjoy yourselves. Have yourselves a Merry Christmas. We love you. Sam, I'm being prompted. Maybe you want to say something. You know this English expression, maybe, meaning you want to.
It's a very interesting, it's a very interesting thing when you begin to, understand different cultures. Because having come from Nigeria not too long ago, I've been here 1 year and 3 months. And when I first came, it was a huge culture shock. But I keep my eyes open, keep my ears open, and assimilate as much as I can. I'm still understanding it. It's not the kind of experience you will get and understand in 1 year or 2 or 3. It will take time because people everywhere are unique to themselves, to their environment. But you don't know how glad I am to see you all here. I am really, really, really grateful because William and his dear wife, we just met yesterday. And they believed enough to find the time to come today. I am really appreciative. Thank you very much. My dear friend Uwem, he just returned from Ireland today. He said, if I get in on time, I will come. And here he is. I am so glad and grateful to see you, Uwem. Thank you for coming. And my Oga, Tony, here, who jump-started the whole thing and made ignited the fire. And somewhere along the line, he got angry with me and said, get out, I'm not doing again. And I said, okay. But you see, let me tell you one thing. No, don't worry, I'm not going to give you a microphone again. The one thing is this. all of us here, all of us, we have one Oga up there. And whatever we do, when we are alone in our rooms on the bed with nobody else, that is when he will come and talk to you and tell you, this is how I want my thing done. And then we take it from there. But I'm so happy that Tony turned up. And I'm very glad because he has seen through to the end what he started. And I'm glad he's happy. And I did not disappoint him. Thank you, Tony. And I also want to say a big thank you to Mary Rose, Tony's wife, because I heard a little bird passed it to me that she went home after yesterday and told Tony that, well, the performance she saw yesterday might be worth looking into. And he decided, okay, all the more reason why he should, get in. And I'm so glad every one of you has been able to come. You see, for me, at this time, it's not so much that, we have a full house or we don't have a full house. No. Like I told Tony, as far as I'm concerned, regardless of the number of people that are here, I take it as my first professional rehearsal to more things to come. And I am so grateful that I have an audience. Y'all, I am so grateful that you were here. Because, I had told you a while ago and you promised you were going to come and you came. Dr. Solomon, that is the pillar that God will bring out and stand and say, no matter what happens, you are going to stand by all these people. Tony started the ball rolling, you join. And also, where is he? Peter was sitting there. We went to take a phone call. My host in Milton Keynes, he's been my host here. Every weekend I've been coming here for over a year, every weekend to volunteer for his charity. And he has been my host all this time. And I want to really extend my serious appreciation because there's so many things that he grapples with, and yet he finds time, within his own schedule and within his own responsibilities to still give an ear to the things that concern me and to give support. So to Peter, I also want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. And my friend, I don't know your name. Sorry? Ola. Good. I know that you are connected with one of the people here. Okay. Ola, at least you can go back to the friend and tell the friend what you saw and how you feel about it. Thank you so much, and I want to also thank Havila because from what I'm noticing, I can see a professional touch to what he's doing, and I am really appreciative of your support. So thank you, all of you. And finally, my wife and my son, Christine and Korikima, I am very grateful to have them beside me. And lastly, to God Almighty, to him be the glory forevermore. Thank you.
One day.